So this meditation is going to be a little different. This is the coloring meditation that we spoke of in the lecture. So while it's not technically a meditation, it's a wonderful way to prepare yourself for a meditation. So even though we've already done the chanting meditation first, I find that the chanting kind of clears me out. It clears whatever is feeling stuck. And this is a really good time, this coronavirus time that we're living in. Clearing grief from your lungs is really important. From an acupuncture standpoint, the coronavirus is so aggressive because it latches onto grief in the lungs. So some people are experiencing coronavirus as a mild cold, and others are dying. And the acupuncturists, not necessarily the Chinese because they don't practice acupuncture. It is an ancient wisdom for them as well, and they have modern medicine. But those practicing the ancient Chinese medicine, both in the United States and all over the world, in China, everywhere, believe that the difference between this virus that's going around bringing people to their knees and just simply making them sneeze is the amount of grief and feelings that they're holding on to, the amount of resentment and grief that they're holding in their lungs. So chanting is a wonderful way to just cleanse and release all kinds of emotions and trapped feelings. When we do the yin practice, it's also just a really great way of opening the fascia. And when we open the fascia, as I mentioned, its connection to consciousness, we release stuck emotions. So for women, a lot of stuff is trapped in our hips. And when we're doing the yin practice, we're releasing emotions from the fascia. So I invite you to add those to your toolbox after this course is complete. Add in mantra, add in yin yoga, release the stuck emotions that you may be holding. And we're all holding something. So see if you can just let that go, which is very simple but really difficult. And it will improve your health in many ways. So I divulge. Let's move on to our coloring meditation. So take a nice deep breath with me. Let's do 2 more heavy sighs like that. Breathing in. One more. All right. So my coloring book happens to be a Jason Momoa coloring book. I may or may not have had a dream about Jason Momoa last night. You'll never know. So you want to find something to color, or you can even just have a blank piece of paper and some colored pens or markers or crayons. If a black pen is all you've got and plain paper is all you've got, you can do so much with that. So I'm going to be addressing this as far as, I think I'm going to do Jason Momoa scuba diving for my picture. I'm going to be addressing this as if we're all doing a coloring page, but please know that that's not necessary. You can also just doodle. You need just a tool, a writing utensil of any kind, a pencil, whatever you've got, and a piece of paper. And I do have on Tai Chi music. You can put on some music in the background, or you can have it be silent, create the environment that you want. This is a time of going inward, reflecting, and focus. So a lot of times if you're finding it's hard to focus during meditation, it's great to start with the coloring meditation, because you're focusing on the coloring. So the one thing becomes the coloring. And thoughts happen. You might even solve a problem. And just notice that your mind is tinkering. And again, just return to Jason Momoa's scuba diving. You know, it's kind of a lovely place to stay. So, without further ado, I invite you to have your setup and just get started on your coloring or your doodling. Set a timer for yourself for 20 minutes and begin. I'm going to turn my video off, but know that we'll be coloring together. Enjoy.